All right. What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's good? This is the August 23rd, 2021 episode of the Boxing Source radio show. I am your host, James Bell, the leader of the Boxing Source on social media. You could follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and yes, we do have a YouTube channel. Big ups to everybody that will join here either live or through the on-demand podcast that will be available on iTunes or Google Podcasts or whatever you use for your favorite podcast apps. We have a few things here that we're going to be going over in this particular episode. Of course, we are still, getting the reactions of the fight that took place over at the T-Mobile Arena on Saturday night. We are also going to talk about the news that was announced by the World Boxing Organization in reference to the mandatory bout that is scheduled or slated to happen in the welterweight division between Terrence Crawford, the WBO welterweight champion, and Sean Porter, who was named the mandatory contender. And we will also talk about the formal announcement, so to speak, of the undisputed super middleweight championship fight between Canelo Alvarez and Canelo-Plant. So we got like a few things here that we're going to be, going over and going down. So we wanted to, get some more reactions to it and everything like that. Shout out to my brother there, brother Mark Nash on the live. What's going on, my guy? See if we'll see if we could talk about or chop it up when it comes to these topics that are going over here real quick. I mean, we had, of course, that fight card that was Saturday, with your Dennis Ugas scoring the win over Manny Pacquiao. We did, have a little bit of a conversation about it on this YouTube channel yesterday, but, wanted to get into it here a little bit more. Of course, you had your Dennis Ugas get that unanimous decision win. Two scorecards of 116, 112, and one scorecard of 115, 113. Therefore, your Dennis Ugas. So all three judges gave your Dennis Ugas at least 7 rounds. Pretty much had watched, was watching it live, and I pretty much like gave Ugas 7 rounds because I had him pretty much up at least I had him with 6 rounds by round 10 was over. So that's the thing. Props to Ugas for his performance, man. I mean, he kind of like really fought the very good tactical fight against Manny Pacquiao, regardless of what some people may say about Manny Pacquiao in his overall level or condition at this particular point. That would be it. Now, the thing was, they did have something there with the judge, kind of like, or the referee, administering Yordenis Ugas when he did, hit Manny Pacquiao low and pretty much admonished Yordenis Ugas and gave Manny Pacquiao, a few minutes there for him to recover. So that would have been a really interesting situation if the judge, the judges, Mark said, the referee there, had taken a point away from your Dennis Ugas. But it still ended up being the thing for Ugas. So like I said, it was 2 scores of 116, 112, and one score of 115, 113. But wanted to get into it, a little bit more here. I mean, you kind of like seeing something with Manny Pacquiao, that he looked like he was trying to get himself going, being very active in those first couple of rounds. You saw that he was throwing the double jab, off the rip, throwing double jabs and things like that. Um, but you just saw your Dennis Ugas have a level of patience, over the course of those early rounds to where he wasn't necessarily, very active, but he, kind of like used his offense to try to get off his offense when he could, particularly in the counter punching style. So, anytime that, Manny Pacquiao would attack, then, your Dennis Ugas would respond with like a one or, two punch combination. You know what I'm saying? And that was that. But it was something where your Dennis Ugas had been, measuring the distance with against Manny Pacquiao and used his reach advantage. I mean, it was, pretty much like around a 2 or 3 inch reach advantage for your Dennis Ugas, and he, pretty much like, measured that to the T, because even though you kind of like seeing Manny Pacquiao, land a couple of shots pretty much with the jabs, he was, fairly good with the jab fairly early, but he couldn't get that left hand landed. He just could not get that left hand landed, and you did see like some of the things where you saw Manny Pacquiao try to throw 3 punch combinations, the right jab, left hand, and then follow with the right, but he was just a little bit short with that left hand and couldn't necessarily land it. It would just miss the target there for your Dennis Ugas. And, Ugas just strategically fought a very good defensive battle. Some people probably thought it was like a great defensive tactic there by your Dennis Ugas, particularly in those first 6 rounds or so, where, he kind of blocked or had, Manny Pacquiao missing most of those left hands, and he would, occasionally throw a couple of punches to the body, a couple of punches upstairs, mainly for counters. Kind of like control the pace of the fight. Um, and then, kind of like stepped it up a little bit in the second half of the fight when he, had signs of Manny Pacquiao slowing down. So he turned it up in the second half of the fight when it came to the offense a little bit. Um, and I kind of like seeing that, with him, he, got things going where that right hand, like Manny Pacquiao just didn't have any type of answer for, the right hand, so it was like, where was that, type of defense or anything like that, for, um, Manny Pacquiao to try to get himself back into it in the second half of the fight. And he just saw like a really tired, worn down Manny Pacquiao there by the end of that particular fight, man. I mean, and that kind of like summed it up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Alan to Saint, on in the building there. He has, brings up the uh, question of Manny with his prime mobility probably could have got him, but Manny was clearly not able to move like he used to. Alan to Saint, like I was saying yesterday, he didn't have that movement. He didn't have the timing. You kind of like seen it. I think they were like explaining it during the rounds of the fight that it just looked like his timing was off. And like he didn't, get himself to where he could, set up Ugas and trap Ugas to a certain point. He tried to, get your Dennis Ugas to the ropes and try to swoon him, but he wasn't, really landing that many shots. And then even with that, Ugas responded. So it was kind of like even exchanges or something where, your Dennis Ugas had the, overall advantage there in those particular exchanges. So it was like something to the point where, it kind of was like a good little bit of an advantage there for you, Dennis Ugas. Like I said, I pretty much had Ugas with at least 7 rounds over the course of that fight. It looked like it was a little bit even, probably by round 4. But by round 7 and 8, you kind of seen the momentum turn over to the side of your Dennis Ugas, as it seemed like Manny Pacquiao's overall activity or timing looked like it was going to be down. But even with that, I mean, it was something to see. They said through, of course, unofficial punch stats that Manny Pacquiao threw a total of 815 punches over the course of 12 rounds, while Yordenis Ugas, just threw about 405 punches. And I was just trying to, look at the whole thing in reference to the overall activity, though, and for those unofficial punch stats, it looked like Manny Pacquiao was throwing more punches over the second half of the fight than in the first round. I mean, the first half. You know what I mean? But Ugas was, still, calm, patient, uh, in his own pace. Didn't necessarily kind of like throw, um, over 50 punches in any round. It seemed like, but he was able to land at least 10 shots over the course of every round in that bout. And I just think that he was like fairly consistent when it came to power shots, and that kind of like was the key to the fight. There was him being more consistent when it came to landing power punches, and not having an answer, um, or mainly not having an answer for that right hand. So all you got now is your Dennis Ugas with the win, and he is now officially the WBA Super Champion there at welterweight. Of course, that backstory for this particular fight was that Yordenis Ugas had held this WBA title because the WBA stripped it from Manny Pacquiao for his inactivity. So they were like saying like, hey, okay, let's see if you know initially when they had the fight between Pacquiao and Spence, that maybe they'll reinstate Pacquiao as a champion, but they were like WBA was like no. So and when Spence out, now you got um Ugas as the WBA champion. Joining in live, what's going on? What's happening? It's Lefty in the building. So what's good with you?
What's going on? Congratulations to you, Udanis Ugas. You read them paragraphs you wrote already?
Man, I seen like one of them. Like he said, like something about okay, now I'm officially the WBA champion. Man, it's like every time I read one of those tweets from Yordenis Ugas, it's like a whole struggle when it gets interpreted. Like I can already say that I'm the WBA champion. Oh, do I still need another fight, or am I still a paper champion?
Hey, he get to talk.
Have a,
He get to talk his talk. He won the fight. He get to talk his talk. So
yeah.
all's fair in love and war. He gets to talk his talk. Did you enjoy the fight? It was a good fight to me.
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty good fight. Particularly in those the first half of the fight, I thought it was a good tactical bout between those two fighters. I just thought that it was just more of a story of Yordenis Ugas having a better strategy for Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, yeah,
And that second half of the fight, man, it was just more of like him kind of like dominating that second half, and that was the key to it. I think that he you could probably say that he won about five of those last. He could have won up to five of those last six rounds. I
man.
hadn't seen the judges' scorecards, round by round yet, but it just seemed like the tide was turning.
Yeah.
After about like round seven, round eight.
Not according to Raphael. Ugas needed a knockout to win.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, Dan Rayfield said like, "Oh man, Ugas needs to knock out the win." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, it's a good fight. I enjoyed. I had. Uh, I would have hated to see what Spence would have did to Pac because Pac looked old. But props to Ugas. Hopefully he get that big unification next, be it Spence or be it Bud.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be Spence, maybe it'll be Bud. Depends. I mean, you were talking about it, something about it yesterday, and the WBC like kind of got word that in reference to how Spence's surgery went, that was good enough for them to, kind of like have his status probably be intact for the time being. So right now it looks like Spence is going to keep that WBC title. Not sure what the IBF has said up to this particular point yet. But it looks like they'll keep his status as unified champion, and then we'll see what happens once he does get himself back into, I guess, ring shape, and say, okay, maybe I'll go ahead and fight Yordenis Ugas.
Yeah, and the IBF, they had already given him I think it's an extension or medical extension.
Yeah,
from
medical
that, car
extension
accident.
or exemption or whatever it is.
Yeah, from that car accident. So
Yeah.
they probably, they get a little itchy. He may
Yeah.
have to drop it, which it ain't no big deal to me because there ain't nobody ranked in the IBF that that you're clamoring for him to see. You really only want to see him fight Ugas and Bud.
Yep, that's pretty much it. They're in the welterweight division. I mean, with the exception of maybe Keith Thurman, but how Spencer when it comes about Keith Thurman. So
Keith better get that tank work.
Nah, man. I don't see them making that fight. I really don't see them making that fight. I'd be really surprised if they made Tank versus Keith Thurman. I know that Thurman was talking to mad stuff over the weekend about a potential fight like that, but it kind of like stems from the past couple of weeks that Thurman was suggested as a potential opponent, and Leonard Ellaby said that Tank's so talented that man, he would knock Thurman's ass out. So I mean that's kind of like where that stemmed from. But from a business perspective, with
That's
Ugas winning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, with Ugas winning, a lot of people were like saying that, oh man, this could have been the fight for Spence to kind of like put him over the top, passing of the torch type of thing, or just the changing of the guard, so to speak. In that it could have been something to the point where he would have been the guy there in the welterweight division, and he probably would have, if he had a good performance against Manny Pacquiao and ended up stopping him, that he would get that demand to be the guy to focus on as far as like getting those big money fights there at welterweight. But now that he wasn't in there, and now you see that Yordenis Ugas is one, that kind of like affects things a little bit. What do you think about that?
I think that's better for Spence in the sense that now, at least with the Ugas fight, because that was a fight he was going to have to make anyway. At least it's a bigger fight for him now. I mean, of course you will want Manny to win and you want to fight Manny, but all things considered, that's the best possible outcome that could have came for him. Ugas did get a lot more, a lot more popular than he would have been if Spence had to fight him after Pacquiao.
Yeah,
it didn't bother me that much because I'll be honest with you, I was never big on Spence versus Pac. I was never big. It was a fight I would have watched, but I was never like, because I knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, if it gets to a point where maybe like one fighter is favored so highly that it kind of like diminishes the interest. So it would almost be like, what's the point of really getting into it?
I mean, I was happy this, I was happy it was a big fight. We was gonna have our fight party, but I wasn't really, it wasn't to me like I felt when Spence versus Porter or Wilder versus Fury. You know what I'm saying? I felt like this one had a predetermined outcome.
Yeah,
and that Spence was gonna kill him.
Yeah, it definitely didn't look like it was going to be a 50-50 fight.
Nah.
So that was the thing about it. Added in, another contributor here, longtime contributor, brother Mike G from Atlanta, checking in, man. We're back at it with the Pacquiao Ugas talk, and
that's tank country, Atlanta.
Yeah, I've kind of heard that.
You seen that? You see them numbers today?
Yeah, I did.
They love that boy down there.
Yeah. Mike, what's up, man?
I want to throw a correction. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I just live in Atlanta.
Oh, Birmingham? Hey, I was thinking about moving to Huntsville.
Oh,
next year.
okay, yeah. They said it's
Yeah,
the
I had
largest
visited
city in Birmingham now. I mean, in
Huntsville. There,
Alabama. Excuse me.
Huntsville is nice, man. It surprised me. My first time going out, I was in Tennessee, and we shut down the Hunt. I was in just south of Nashville. We shut down to Huntsville. And I ended up getting me a hotel room down there, going to a couple bars and spending the night. I was like, yeah, I like this. I mean, not just the night, like the because I moved from Detroit to Cincinnati, and Cincinnati a lot slower than Detroit is. Huntsville, like kind of like Cincinnati, but with better weather.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's a growing city. You know, a lot of opportunity, a lot of jobs. So,
Yep.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, looks
Man,
like
I
they're
saw
gonna
some like a video of Pac after the fight, and I was a bit disappointed with his response. He lost. Everybody saw that he lost, and you know, you could tell he was sort of down about losing and just emotional in terms of whether or not he gonna retire. But then now I heard him say that both his legs was cramping, which could have been true, right? But both of his legs were cramping, and that's why he didn't have movement because his legs was tight.
I mean, I didn't have any excuses, but you know,
But
my legs.
that ain't his first time complaining about his legs being tight. You know, even after some of his victories, he's been complaining about that for years. So really, and which really, I think it's more like he don't want to accept the fact that he's not that he should hang it up. You know what I'm saying?
Which,
Because he didn't get knocked out or even knocked down. He probably thinking, well, it was his ring rust. All I need is another fight real quick, a better camp, and then I can come back.
you know, I don't dispute or if he feel it, then I think he should do what he feel is best. The thing
Mm-hmm.
I have problem or issue with is always having an excuse. There's always it seemed to be an excuse when he had the fights where he doesn't get slept or he feels that it's a disappointment or don't necessarily agree with the outcome. There's an excuse. My legs was tight and I couldn't move, blah blah blah, or my shoulder was hurting even though I threw that hand a million times.
Yeah,
That's
true,
just not a good look in my opinion.
true. True. I mean, well, he's always that's just something he's always did. I mean, I think you know what? Every fighter, I notice all fighters have excuses after they lose. 99% of them. There's very few that don't have no excuse. I'm doing my evening walk through my neighborhood, so that was like, but it's a lot of them don't take it as extreme as Wilder did. A lot of them are more subtle, like Pacs. Have you noticed that?
Did I notice that Wilder got cheated? Is that what you asking?
No. I'm saying every fighter has excuses after they lost, like 99% of them. Some of them don't go as extreme as Wilder, but more subtle, like Pacquiao's.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody, to some extent, most people
Yeah,
have some sort of something. They always blame it on something or say this happened. I'm not gonna make
yeah,
excuses, but you know, I was facing this issue,
yeah.
this or that issue.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how they do.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. You saying something, Mike?
Oh, no, I was just I'm echoing the sentiments. Everybody kind of does do that. I just so my sentiment right after the fight was that let's say Pacquiao is toward the end of his career and it wasn't his night, mainly due to the style matchup. Like that was, like I said the other day, the worst style that they could have put him up against. A strong person who is a pretty competent boxer and has a long jab that he has to contend with and is strong. That's not something that you want to put Manny Pacquiao. And so in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, bad style matchup. He'll always have trouble and or get beat if the judges judge the fight, you know, accurately. He'll always have trouble with that type of style. He can still come back and beat some of the guys, like obviously he's not going to fight a Sean Porter or Errol Spence or probably even Terrence Crawford. But you throw in a few other people, he can still beat them. But then once I heard the excuses, it's just like, just make me feel a little bit disappointed.
What did you enjoy the fight? Like watching it,
I
did you enjoy it? Was it a good fight to you?
Yeah, I enjoyed the fight. Yes, I'm going to say what I said yesterday. I'm not taking away from Ugas's win, but I think the fight was less about what Ugas was able to do because what Ugas did was just go into his natural strength. He used his boxing, he used his range, he used his jab, and then he countered. He did things that he always does. It was less about what Ugas did and more about what Pacquiao didn't do. Pacquiao and his coach, they came into the fight, and what they always seem to do when they're in a tougher fight, they don't make adjustments. Roach didn't give him much of anything, as he always not do, to adjust. You got to get around these landmines, and you don't want to get slept. But I can't teach you to do that. And then the way he was coming in, it was like he was trying to he was like putting weight on his right foot to try to like get off to the right. But then you would see him sort of do like a skipping motion, like he would put his weight on the right foot, and then instead of like even having his weight like sort of balanced to where he could make the two quick steps, sort of like Sean Porter do. He was like jumping, like hopping, like he pop on his right foot, and then Ugas just hit him. He just hit him just like every time he did. Pacquiao couldn't get around the landmine. Roach was not able to tell him how to do it. They obviously didn't practice that. I'm gonna let you go, Lefty.
I think Ugas stayed disciplined. A couple times he kind of got into a like Manny trying to drag him into a little dog fight. Like Floyd said, Manny throw flurries as part of that's his trap. When he get in there throwing flurries, that's his trap to get you to open it up. Then he gonna catch you with a counter. Ugas stayed disciplined for the most part and didn't fall for that. And like you said, he was just pop him. He just wait, pop, and get out of there. And that overhand right was just catching Manny. Like Manny didn't know how to get away from it. That looping overhand right that he kept throwing.
Oh yeah. Do you agree with what I said though? It's less about what Ugas did because he did what he normally do, and more about what Manny Pacquiao could not do.
Yeah, but I also want to attribute that to Ugas' discipline for not falling for Manny tricks. You know what I'm saying? Sticking to their game plan. Yeah, he was like.
Hold on.
It was a slow pace game from Ugas.
Yeah.
But then again, why couldn't Manny do it? Was it age? Was it ring rust? That's the question. That's the question he asked himself too. Well, if it was ring rust, I'm gonna try it again. If it's age, no.
Or was it a deficiency that has always been there? That has typically, when he in them fights like that, because quietly, if he didn't get that body shot that came from the gods, like AJ would say, that hurt Keith Thurman would have walked away in the sunset with the fight. Like it would have been a close fight still, but Keith Thurman would have won that fight, won the whole second half. He hit Keith Thurman with a body shot, and Keith Thurman got a retreat then. I'm just like I like Manny Pacquiao, and the more I see Manny Pacquiao in terms of his conviction about his people and stuff, I ask myself, now that Floyd Mayweather isn't fighting, who would I rather have a conversation with? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on a personable level. I'm not gonna answer that question on air, but all I know is when somebody ain't fighting and doing the thing that you love them for, and you just look at them holistically, I question if I would really hang around with said people, the image of them. How about that? But outside of that, I was a bit disappointed, man. I know he older, I know he going out the door, but no adjustments, really? Man, okay.
Maybe he just couldn't. Maybe he just couldn't.
Then you had a message that popped up.
Yeah, Alan Toussaint was saying like Manny has ignored Freddie before in the past is what he's brought up. So maybe there's been some times when Freddie Roach has said something to Manny, and Manny goes out there and doesn't do what Freddie Roach tells him. So that's kind of like where that comes from.
I feel you.
Manny said, "I'm doing my own thing."
I feel
I'm about to
you,
get
but
mine up.
I don't think Roach gave him no adjustment directions. When has he ever given up and any other his fighters like this ain't working or we got to go to plan B or try something or they're capitalizing on this. He's capitalizing on you making that them step, and then he trying to counter you. When has he gave him some adjustment to I got a great idea to feint and make him throw his punch and then you counter him, Manny? I get it. He older. His feet ain't moving like they used to. But where your feints at, Manny? Where your feints at, Manny? Where your feints? I'll try to make it to a Michael Jackson thing, but I couldn't. Where the feints at, man? Where was his coach telling him to feint?
Yeah, man, I wasn't really seeing it. I wasn't, seeing it there against Ugas. I don't know if it was something to the point where, it looked like to me that Manny was getting a little bit frustrated after, 7 or 8 rounds that he wasn't, able to, land his left hand like he thought that he was going to over the course of the fight. And, I didn't see those feints. I didn't see him really try to set up your Dennis Ugas in something where he'll be able to catch Ugas with the left hand. It just seemed like he was just doing the same, things, just those, three or four punch combinations, a couple of, jabs here and there where he steps forward with the right jab and, didn't really make any adjustment or, when he tries to do the flourish, it would be like smothered up to a certain extent. Or it's something where your Dennis Ugas would, be able to respond either with, one shot or 2 shots to the body and then gets himself out of the pocket. So, it just wasn't a good overall fight there from Manny Pacquiao. And, maybe he was kind of like disappointed with that performance. Potentially he could try to see about going for a rematch, but, at this point, a few people are like thinking that this might have been his last go round, so to speak. But I just think that that overall effort was kind of like a little bit disappointing from his side because it like Mike was saying, like Ugas really didn't like show himself to be head and shoulders above Manny Pacquiao. It's just that he tactically fought a great fight. It wasn't like it was complete domination. It was just something where he just consistently won round by round, doing things to, that are kind of like, what you would do as far as like textbook in the ring from a defensive standpoint. But it wasn't until like the tail end of the fight where you kind of like seen where he upped his offensive output and he was able to land better to where he had Manny Pacquiao in some serious trouble. But over in like the first half of the fight, it was more about him staying patient, him defending well against the combinations from Manny Pacquiao, and him kind of like being out of range from Manny Pacquiao's left hand. So, that's how that kind of like went for me.
I got a question for Lefty.
Go ahead.
So we had another guy on the show who said he thought Manny Pacquiao won due to activity. And Ugas is landing, 5 to 10 punches around, even though they was clean, wasn't enough to overcome the activity. Who do you agree with the decision? And if not, why? If so, why?
Yeah, I agree with the decision that Ugas won. Like I said, he just Pacquiao couldn't really do nothing after a while. He was having a activity, but it wasn't effective aggression. He was aggressive, but it wasn't effective aggression because Ugas was stopping everything he was trying to do. Especially after what was at the 5th round, when Ugas started taking over. Now I was at a fight party, so I couldn't really hear the play-by-play broadcast. But I saw that tweet they put up that said that Damian Lillard said that the broadcast is trying to make it seem like Pacquiao is dominating, but Ugas is winning. So from me looking at the fight, I thought I don't know what the broadcast was saying, so maybe he was being swayed by that. But just from me looking at the fight, it looked like everybody at the fight party agreed that Ugas won that fight. It was like no controversy whatsoever.
I agree with you. He had another partner If you're listening, I'm talking about you, Matt. But
it was nobody at the fight party that thought Pacquiao won that fight. I mean, it was no controversy at all.
Yeah.
And these are Pacquiao fans, you know.
Yeah, that was the thing about the immediate reaction was that, you know, people didn't necessarily say that, you know, Pacquiao, you know, was going to pull it off. And, you know, from the live, you know, social media interactions, it just seemed like, you know, they kind of felt like Pacquiao wasn't in it going into that last round or whatever it is. It wasn't like, oh, snap, this fight is even and, you know, it's really, really close or, you know, anything like that. It just seemed like it was more of, you know, where they saw that the tide was turning towards Ugas's favor leading into those last couple of rounds of the fight. And so when those scorecards, you know, pretty much came down, then, you know, when they said that Ugas was winning, then that was, you know, kind of it there. I mean, you know, of course, you know, there's always that element of surprise or controversy when scorecards are, you know, read that it could go the other way. But, you know, they just had, you know, all three of those scorecards going Ugas's favor. And, you know, people were like, okay, you know, all right, well, you know, Ugas did what he needed to do in order to win that fight. And so with the judges giving them the scores, you know, it's all good. So hadn't really seen anything as far as like, you know, people saying it's a robbery or anything like that. You know, in a significant enough scale for, you know, people to say, oh, there was a lot of controversy in this particular fight. That's one thing. And the other thing is, you ain't really seen that much of a demand for a rematch either.
Nope. I mean, you seen the matter of fact, everybody was laughing at Dan Rafael for having Pacquiao win it. He had the scorecard 115, 113 for Pacquiao.
Pacquiao, yeah.
So, you know, but Pacquiao does have a rematch clause that he can exercise. I hope he don't. But
I was about to say, my concern is even if he had a 2-month camp, the outcome would be different in that, sure, the judge, he might have a different crop of judges, but Ugas going to probably win the majority of the exchanges simply if Manny don't learn different shot selection, it's going to be the same outcome. It's going to be the same outcome, but maybe a different result in terms of exchanges. But, you know, the judges, it's a coin flip.
Yeah, you know, depending on who the judge is going to be, it could be a coin flip or whatnot, you know.
I hope he hangs him up, though. I hope he hangs him up.
Jay, I didn't answer the question that you asked the other day. Do I think he is done? As long as if he fights and they don't have Olympic style drug testing and he can be on that ambrosia, I think he'll be okay. I'm just going to leave it at that.
No, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Because him fighting Keith Thurman, Olympic style VADA drug testing, you know, he still had a little bit more in the tank, could do whatever. Did this remind you of the Jeff Horn, how flat he was in the Jeff Horn fight? I don't know. Let me not, you know, I don't know. I'm no conspiracy theorist, but as long as he ain't got the ambrosia, if he does have it, as long as it's not VADA drug testing, I think he'd be all right going forward.
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting to me because I mean they, you know, they were in the same venue as that Thurman fight, and it was pretty much under rules of the WBA. So yeah, I didn't see what they were talking about for this particular fight with Ugas. Like, you know, maybe they had something different type of protocol on it. Lefty, you got something?
No, I ain't got nothing on it.
All right.
I mean, it just interested me. You know, I was that was interesting. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, true.
So let Manny juice and give him his rematch.
You know, real quick, before I wanted to jump on the next thing on here, those undercard fights, at least with the thing with Victor Ortiz and Robert Guerrero, they had Guerrero with the unanimous decision win, 6 rounds to 4. It was a good little scrap there for a good half of the fight. Their pace or overall pace went down a bit there in those last few rounds. Ortiz was dealing with a cut, under his eye. And it was like they had 2 fighters in there that had been inactive for at least 16 months or something like that. Like Victor Ortiz didn't have a fight in like 3 years. And I was like, wait a minute. So they resurrected Victor Ortiz, from like 3 years to have a fight against Robert the Ghost Guerrero, who, pretty much got washed by Omar Figueroa Jr. or something like that. And leading into the fight, I was calling it like a loser leaves town match or something like that. But it looked like they were going at it, for those first couple of rounds, though, man.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch. Like I said, I was at the fight party, man. I saw that shit. I was like, let me know when Pat come up.
Yeah, man. Be like, I'm chilling, man. Let me know when that main event happens, man.
Exactly. that's how I was. Shit,
man.
That should be a winner and loser leaves town fight. Well, at least they was fighting each other than somebody else.
Well, I mean, I did say that, before the close of that fight, I was like, maybe the winner of this fight gets a rematch with Andre Berto or something, man.
Yeah. or at least who won?
Robert Guerrero.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ortiz. Ooh, damn. Woo. That would have been a good fight 6-7 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I did see Ortiz, have his little spurts or whatever it is, but he was like coming forward, throwing punches, power shots, and at least in the first half of the fight, that Robert Guerrero was boxing pretty well. You know what I'm saying?
Only time I want to see Ortiz is if he fighting Brandon Rios. Other than that, retire. Now Ortiz versus Rios, you get me all in on that one. I'll be hooked. I want a 24/7 episode. I want everything. That is a great grudge match that we never got.
Yeah, RG said there was a legendary. They set up a legendary journeyman's league or something with these fighters. I don't know, man. That'd be crazy, man. But man, I don't know, man. Maybe I guess one of them wanted to close out their career with a win or something, or a key win against a named opponent. Maybe it is, but the way that they were like hyping this up, they were like saying, "Oh, the winner could have themselves back in the mix in the welterweight division." I'm like, what? Well, what?
Man.
What?
No. They gotta, man. Boxing people gotta start being honest with fans, because we know what's going on, man.
Yeah.
Just say this is a good fight between. This is a fight between two watch fighters. I hope you enjoy it. That's all you got to say. We know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if they had like promoted it, like I was saying, like, had this thing as a in the contract, loser leaves town match, like they lose, they can't fight again, then
go full WWE, full man. WWE on it.
Then
don't try to make this as no legitimate fight. We know this not no legitimate fight, man.
Yeah, man. And for them to like push it up to a co-feature bout, man, that was like, oh my goodness, man.
That was a Al Heyman rewards for years of being
years
loyal
of good
to
service. Yep,
that's all that was.
People like put them back up there, like hey, we'll give you this fight, and this will be like a co-feature fight for y'all. You know what I'm saying? For all your years of good service or whatnot. But that fight before that, man, Pacquiao versus Ceja, man, that was a very good scrap. That was one that I don't know if initially I didn't really think it would be as good as it was. With Ceja, like Ceja came into the bout without a win over his last 3 fights, and Pacquiao was, coming up. There he's undefeated. Was 22-0, and Pacquiao had got off to that good start with the knockdown in round one. But then Seha, was getting himself back into the fight. He was kind of like blitzing Pacquiao a little bit, was still consistent coming forward. And then in one exchange, he, was able to catch, Pacquiao with the same punch that Pacquiao caught Seha with in the first round with their left hook, and then pow. And it looked like Pacquiao was hurt by that left hook when he went down to the canvas. But he was able to get up.
What weight class was that? I asked somebody that the other day. I forgot what they told me. Featherweight. Okay.
And Pacquiao, had himself. He had to clear his head a little bit. There over those, next couple of rounds. 6 and 7. Then he got, back into it in rounds 8 and 9. You kind of seen him, even though he was fighting off his back foot, he was very active with his jab and then throwing some combinations and getting himself out of the pocket. And he just had like a second win, getting himself out of the pocket. And, in round 10, he pretty much pressed the action a little bit, had himself going on his front foot, and he, just started throwing a combination that, hurt Julio Ceja, got Ceja to the ropes, and then he, threw a left that came short, but then he got through the guard with the right hand, and blah, it just had, Ceja out before he Ceja hit the canvas, man. And, that was like the highlight of the night. Them, getting a knockout there with the win. And it was like a WBC eliminator of sorts. He does hold some WBO international title or whatever it is at featherweight.
So he's a Gary Russell potential opponent.
Here we go. Let me add in the president of the Deontay Wilder fan club, Matthew Brown, man. Yeah, here we go with the thing with Gary Russell, man. Come on, man.
I'm just asking a question. Is this somebody I should be looking forward to?
Man, they ain't been no final eliminators in WBC, and they ain't even really say nothing. So, they because who they have, remember you Russell was supposed to have a mandatory thing scheduled, but they didn't really
Ray
say
Vargas.
And Ray Vargas, and he's saying Ray Vargas has been injured or whatever it is, and they had some other guys there that's ranked, and it's they ain't gonna be fighting Gary Russell because it's Mauricio Lara and Eduardo Ramirez. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. So there's that. But Matt's in the building, checking in. What's happening?
Man, as soon as I get on, I gotta listen to this guy slandering Gary Russell again.
All I asked was he a potential? He said WBC featherweight.
But he's not.
No, I don't. I didn't even know what weight class the fight was in. I was barely watching shit. I was at a fight party. I was drinking and talking to some bitches.
Well, I ain't mad at that. About time you do something productive. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Shit, but y'all finished going through the whole card already?
Yeah, just about, man. I mean, I talk about
God.
the Ortiz Guerrero and Pacquiao Ceja joint.
Yeah, I didn't want to join while y'all was talking about the card because I ain't really care. I ain't really watch. I was watching SummerSlam. Shout out to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar came back. That's what I was fucking with. I just want to talk boxing news, man.
Well, I mean, the next topic was boxing news to a certain extent with the WBO's announcement of that person.
See, I told y'all it wasn't gonna be Friday. They was gonna have to set a date.
Yeah,
well, but here's the thing: they didn't really. To me, I think it's being reported very poorly. I think what happened is they granted a 2-week extension to negotiate.
Yeah, that's what it was looking like.
You've never, ever seen them put a purse bid 2 weeks out when they call it. So to me, they granted an extension to negotiate to get a deal done, and you can get a deal done right up until 11:59 a.m. on September 2nd. After that, let's go on the first bid.
No, they even live streaming it on their Facebook page.
Yeah,
So
because they
that's
know
the date.
this is some
That's the
shit right
date.
here.
Yeah, man. This is ratings, man. This is ratings.
For real.
Like, I mean, it's probably gonna be, one of the most anticipated bouts in the welterweight division. In the past couple years, man. Because
what's gonna draw a higher rating? This purse bid or Tiafimo's pay-per-view?
Shit. If they got Oscar on that same deal, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna get 2 months.
Are you talking
Oscar?
about if you get Oscar as part of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Oscar is the 11th and $299 for a month. So, and Tiafimo's what, the 6th?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oscar, who now?
Oscar De La Hoya, man, stop playing.
Yeah, man.
What's happening with Oscar De La Hoya?
Number 11.
He's back September 11th.
Remind me who he's fighting again.
Vita Belfort, the MMA fighter.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back on mute.
Listen, I don't care what nobody got to say. Oscar's my dude. Oscar's what the game been missing. I can't wait to see Oscar back.
Oh man, I mean, I'm going in there, Vito Belfort, man. I'm back. I'm all the way back. You know,
man. I hope he get the knockout.
Hey, if he gets the knockout, man.
He gonna knock him out. Then he gonna call out Canelo.
I hope so.
It was gonna be Canelo Floyd Mayweather. I was like, he's gonna call out one of the two.
Hey, maybe him and Canelo can fight in February in Mexico.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. Take my money.
For real.
Take my money because I watch that shit.
Talk about a grudge match. That would definitely be a grudge match.
Yep. Now, do you think I was reading that if Top Rank does not bid on this fight, then their obligation to Crawford is not over. Now, a lot of people read that as if Top Rank doesn't bid on the fight, then that means Crawford still owes them one fight. But I read it as if Top Rank don't bid on the fight, he could get some more money out of them. Not that he would have to fight under them, but he can, I guess, get money out of them.
Ain't that the same thing though?
No, because just because you have an obligation to me does not mean that I have an obligation to you. Now, the way they worded it was Top Rank will still have an obligation to Crawford. They didn't say Crawford will still have an obligation to Top Rank.
Yeah, well, that could be a mistake. If they don't clarify it, that could be a mistake.
Well, honestly,
is that shrewd of a writer, personally?
Well, Coppinger puts out his word salads that say a lot of nothing, that cause confusion to get more clicks. But I don't think there's been any real confirmation on what happens when it comes to Crawford's contract. We do know
they're gonna bid. They're
owe
gonna
$1
bid
million.
for it, man. They're gonna bid on it.
They owe him $1 million.
Yeah.
That we know for sure because it didn't get him the Spence fight.
Yep. And I think they gonna put it in the opening bid of $210,000.
Oh, don't say that. Come on.
Nah,
I started GoFundMe for the fight.
Yeah.
I forgot to post it. I'm gonna post it.
Yeah, do something like that. Raise a GoFundMe, and then we'll get enough money put together to bid on the fight. Man,
so do you guys think that the bid for this fight is gonna get up in the $10 million range? Because a lot of people are saying it maxes out at 6, which I just don't get because Teofimo's fight went for more than that.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, but Teofimo fight went for more than that. But we all know that fight was way overbid, way overbid.
Yeah, but you don't think Triller could actually make money off of this fight?
Not bid no. I don't know. I don't think so because they don't know what they're doing.
To me, this is a can't miss fight.
Tell us how they can make money. Are you saying make money off the Teofimo fight or the
No, off of Porter versus Crawford. If they would like bid something stupid, like 10 million.
If they knew what they were doing, yeah, we until I see them put on a real fight like Teofimo and Lopez and Cambosis, then we'll know. Another thing, they haven't even put that fight on. They said they're sending the contracts out. They have not put that fight on yet. They've been bullshitting around forever.
Well, the contracts have to go out tomorrow.
Yeah. So let's see.
But October 5th ain't a long way away.
Nope.
Let's see.
Yeah, it certainly ain't. So I mean, they got to get into it for that one. But yeah, this thing for Crawford and Porter, man. I think they from a PR standpoint, I think they would try to put this as a purse bid. See how the people will react to it, and then you get the buzz from whoever ends up winning the bid and how much they bid for it and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But I mean, you know how we were talking about the whole thing with when the WBO initially made that announcement of Porter being the mandatory, and one certain person that we communicate with saying like they don't feel like they're gonna go for trying to secure that bout at this particular time. But the thing about it is like how do you not do that? Should be something where we usually try to go ahead and get this thing rolling. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't really matter. Like, if you're gonna work with Top Rank on one end, for one fight, then you can do it for another one. But it just ain't looking like they want to do it for this particular instance. Because they don't feel like they want to pay fighter that high guarantee, or at least that high minimum that he commands for every fight.
Wow, I think it's going to be very interesting. This is definitely the most anticipated purse bid since Evander Holyfield, Buster Douglas. Like, I can't wait for this.
Man, damn, we would have to wait until next Thursday, the following Thursday for this thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, man,
live. I like that they're live streaming it though. Get the fan. That's more engagement. Get the fans involved.
Yeah, man, you get the publicity on that.
Huh?
No, man, you were saying something?
No, I'm just wondering how much Top Rank gonna bid. Because this is crazy to me.
And
around that 6 million.
I mean, 6 million not bad for them.
I don't know, because 6 million would make the guarantee short for Crawford though.
What do they care?
They would still have to. They would have to make up the difference.
No.
Whatever they bid is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
No, his contract supersedes that though.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't.
If they win, if PBC win, they don't have to guarantee them that money.
If anybody wins, they don't have to guarantee them that money.
If Top Rank does win, it does.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. I'm telling you, his contract supersedes that.
I guess we'll see.
They have an obligation to him that they have to pay him a minimum amount of money per fight, purse bid or not. if they're promoting the fight. Now, if PBC wins, they only owe him what the purse bid is.
Well, I guess Bud and Bomac got themselves a good little deal off that, off that agreement that they had with Top Rank if he gets that, minimum guarantee.
Because Don King used to have a deal like that where with his fighters, where he was allowed to bid enough to win the purse bid, even if it's under their guarantee, but he would have to. And this dude explained it before. I asked him to explain it to me again, but they were still bound by the guarantee in the contract.
Gotcha. But yeah, I mean, it just remains to be seen how that's going to go on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it because if they hadn't really said nothing about any type of offers that have been made or sent or anything like
because
that.
Because they're not. Jay told us 3 weeks ago that I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's an extension. You remember he said Fox does not want a joint pay-per-view for this fight. Top Rank wants a joint pay-per-view for this fight. Fox does not want a joint pay-per-view for this fight.
Yeah. There's that too. Yeah, I think what was it, Aaron? That was saying that they were gonna try to do a joint, or was it that report on boxing scene?
And Top Rank ain't trying to pay both persons. That's always been an issue with that fight. They don't want to be responsible for both persons. So what their idea was, okay, we'll cover Porter's purse. PBC can. And we'll cover Buzz first. PBC can cover Porter's first, and we'll do a joint pay-per-view. Well, that's not what Fox is trying to do. So they either gonna have to cover all of Porter's first, or
I don't think Fox is gonna do much else, with the exception of the Fury Wilder 3. So they ain't gonna have another thing to put up a pay-per-view a month after that. I don't think they're really going to be interested in doing that there for that close of the fall season and whatnot. So yeah, I'm just we're gonna see, man. How that's gonna go. But yeah, I just want that fight to happen, man. I don't want no alternatives or anything like that. I don't want Terrence Crawford to fight, another mandatory or something like that. That's below level of Sean Porter. We can't fight no David Evangeline or nothing like that, or say that they Top Rank signed Rashidi Ellis and then he's gonna be fighting Terrence Crawford. No, I don't want that, man. I want Crawford versus Porter. And that's that. And given just that being a matchup, you would think that at least Top Rank would try to do something to, put in for the fight, because the amount of interest that they would get, they would get something back out of it. But looks like they ain't interested in, trying to invest in making that fight and hosting it, themselves. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, to me, all this was on Porter because Crawford ain't giving up his belt. So if the fight don't happen, to me, it's Porter's fault.
I don't know about all that, man. He needs to, make it public. Let's give it a go. I want my team to say, hey, if y'all gotta secure this fight, and let's make this happen. You know what I'm saying? Because this might be his only other opportunity to fight for a world title. I don't think they're gonna try to go for a rematch against Ugas, even though that probably was in his mind after he saw that Ugas, got the win over Manny Pacquiao. But I just don't see them trying to have or set up a rematch between Sean Porter and Yordenis Ugas. I just don't see that being in the works there.
Yeah, I agree with that because I think Ugas is more likely to have his mandatory call, which, judging by the WBA's ruling today in the cruiserweight division, his mandatory is going to be the gold champion, which is Virgil Ortiz.
Ooh. Now that would be something. If they had that, man, Ugas versus Virgil Ortiz. Hey,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, they fought 1 week apart.
Yeah.
They're on the
So,
same schedule.
yep.
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's go for it, man. Yeah, Yordenis Ugas, Virgil Ortiz. Let's make that happen. But during that pay-per-view telecast that happened on Saturday, there was a guy that kind of gets confused for being like Bubba Sparks or Paul Wall, Mr. Canelo-Plant, the IBF super middleweight champion. It made the formal announcement that he will be fighting Canelo Alvarez, and it will be on November for those undisputed titles at super middleweight. You got people, looking like they want to go to this fight. But we gonna see, man. I mean, it's something where Canelo-Plant, he gonna show. He said like he wanted to be the super middleweight champion, so he's gonna have to show and prove on this one. If he really got the skills, because like I've been saying that for Canelo Alvarez for a while. If you don't have anything that makes him respect you, he's gonna eventually walk you down and try to hurt you. And that's kind of like how his strategy has been, or his MO has been since like maybe the Jacobs fight or something like that. So, I just see something where it's going to be a little bit competitive there for a good amount of rounds. And then we might see Canelo try to press the action a little bit to see how Canelo-Plant reacts to it. One of the other things too, I said, as far as like this matchup is concerned, is either Canelo is going to try to do something where he would come forward and try to cut off the ring against Canelo-Plant, or he's going to try to box with the boxer and Canelo-Plant and see how he fares with that. So, I'm looking forward to it to see, how Caleb comes in, because this is significantly a higher caliber fight than he's ever had. And it's something there where it's like, hey, here we go. I mean, yeah, you secured the bag, but do you want to take over and say that, okay, I'm the guy that's going to take out the, quote unquote, pound for pound king, El Campeon, Canelo Alvarez, or what is it, Santos Saul Alvarez Barragan. So, hey, this could be something there, man, for Canelo-Plant to kind of like stamp his name, out there in the sport. But
now I know you say that that Caleb hasn't fought anyone on Canelo's level, but when was the last time Canelo fought someone that is of the level of a Canelo-Plant?
So okay, so you're rating Caleb over a little bit over Daniel Jacobs.
Yeah, to me, Jacobs, he's just never done it at the top level for me. Like he's good, but it's just something about him to me where he freezes in the biggest moments of his career, but he just can't get over the hump against elite level opposition.
I mean, I thought he did enough to. I still say he did enough to get over Golovkin, but they gave Golovkin that fight.
I said elite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is true. Straight up and down, no special effects. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's the thing there, man. Of course, Canelo has fought what do what do y'all call it? The British tour or something like that with Billy
Yeah, I
Joe
call it
Saunders.
the European bum of the month tour.
Oh man, you had the thing there where he fought Rocky Fielding, Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, and all that, and Anthony Yoderum. Yeah. So, I mean that's pretty much been Canelo's level of competition, over the past year and a half. And now he's going up against Caleb-Plant that has like a completely different style compared to all those other guys, and has the height and length, man. So it's gonna be like, okay, how is Canelo gonna be able to deal with somebody of that stature, with him being like what 5'8". I was saying like I thought it was gonna be like I thought it was like 5'9", but yeah, they got him listed at 5'8". So he probably is
It's probably like 5'6", 5'7".
yeah, I was gonna say he probably 5'7",
But James didn't look much taller than Floyd.
No, he didn't.
Nope. Yeah, he sure didn't. And Caleb was there at over 6 feet. So that's gonna be the thing about it, man. I think that Caleb is gonna try to, get himself to perform at a level that he hasn't been before, and like he supposedly said, he'll never let a white boy beat.
Yeah, that shit blew up.
Yeah, it did. Oh my God. Yo, I didn't think that would blow up as much as it did, man. But oh my God, yo.
I had to turn off my notifications, man. That shit blew up crazy.
Because his wife thought it was real. I mean, thought you were serious.
Yeah. And the funniest part about it is one of these reporters thought he actually said it.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, but it was quote unquote reporting.
No way, Ellie?
Yeah.
I made it to Ellie?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was like to me at ES News. I was
wow. Wow. I might have perfected Twitter.
Oh, I got away from the show for a second. What happened?
All right, so on Twitter, man, like Matt had made a post, kind of like pretty much using a term or like a quote from Bernard Hopkins back in the day, and he applied it to Caleb-Plant when it came to Canelo. He said like, "Yo, Caleb-Plant to Canelo, I'll never let a white boy beat me."
And everybody thought Caleb really said it, and then blew up on Twitter.
Oh wow.
Yo, it was hilarious though.
They were like, "Caleb, you're a white boy."
Yeah.
What did he say in return?
What he posted? He said, "Man, you're lying. I ain't never say that shit."
Yeah, he got the joke. His wife thought it was serious though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this tweet got over 1 million impressions. Yeah,
Hey,
this
man.
shit blew up. Yeah, it got over 1 million impressions.
Yeah, man. That thing it was trending, man. It got viral. Man.
But I would see that being the case because the boxing community, I mean, you we are all, well, not all of us, but y'all are connected to multiple groups. And if you put it in 2-3 groups,
Yeah.
you got certain groups in certain countries, certain groups in other countries, and it just
they
spread
dumb.
like wildfire.
Yep, that's true. That's true, especially on Twitter. You got a Twitter, MG?
Not one. Not really. I don't.
Man, you got to get on Twitter. You got to hop off the
what I
porch.
told
What you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on
You on
Facebook.
Facebook? Yeah, you got to hop off the porch. Get on Twitter.
That's what I told them.
We walk on milk crates on Twitter. For real, Twitter is the ghetto, nigga. And think about it, everybody that come there say that shit. Everybody how it all started off, you make a Twitter. This is what happened. You make a Twitter, you forget the password, make another one, get on there, play around for a few minutes. The next thing you know, you hooked. Because my account that got suspended, the account I'm on now, it's my old account. I had that one since 2009 and never used it after like 2011, 2013.
Yeah, that backup account, man. The emergency account. You didn't never think you would have to use that emergency account.
You gotta come join us. You gotta come to the ghetto. MG, get your Twitter back activated, fired up.
Hey, I'll trust y'all with it. I don't want no problems on the Twitter streets.
You gotta hop off the porch, get on that Twitter, boy.
Oh man.
James, because you started using a lot. You used to be on YouTube a lot more, didn't you? And Facebook, right?
Nah, I was on Facebook a lot more, than Twitter. But then I was, just on the Twitter joint, man. Back and forth on
Facebook no more. I was like, I banned.
I don't be on Facebook like that no more either.
Yeah.
Unless I'm selling some shit, I go in there to sell my little shit, then I come right back to Twitter and TikTok.
Yeah.
You know what I realized? A lot of shit.
Matt be TikToking his ass off.
I love TikTok, man. When you put shit on Twitter and TikTok, it gets more clicks than when it goes on Facebook.
Yeah, they have whole different algorithms, man, on Twitter and TikTok, man. That's why I don't really, mess with the thing on Facebook that much anymore because, it just gets lost.
Facebook buries you. TikTok and Twitter is more fair. If you got
TikTok, give you a fair chance. It'll show people, and if your shit start popping, it'll start showing more people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if you don't follow account, the way TikTok is, if you don't follow account, once you put the video out there, and even if don't nobody like your video, like when you post a video, it'll show to the people that you follow. People that follow you, obviously it's gonna come up on their feed, but it'll also get pushed out to everybody else. And if people watch the whole video, even if they don't like it, but if they watch the whole video, they'll show it to more people. That's their engagement is watching or how long they watch it.
Right.
But if somebody see your shit and they click right off, you ain't gonna get too much. But they at least put you out there outside your own little ecosystem, outside your own little followers and shit.
Yeah, at least you'll get a shot.
So Matt be on TikTok doing the busted challenge. That's what he be on TikTok doing.
Oh, come on, man. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, brother.
What you be on TikTok doing, Matt?
I'll be posting funny videos. That's all.
All right. I believe you. I ain't tripping.
Listen, I posted a video of this guy that was cursing out this girl. He got mad because she said that, "Oh, you have no hair, sweetie," and he went crazy. And the video got 5.3 million views.
TikTok push you out there, man.
Yeah, man.
Trying to build a brand and trying to build something. That's good. Huh?
I said the dude was losing his hair. He was like balding or something.
No, he was bald. He was like Goldberg.
He was pissed.
Dang, man. They be having all types of those videos, man, on TikTok, man. But hey, I'll see how that be popping off. Cause if that algorithm is like that, where everybody gets a chance, then shoot.
Yeah, that's how I found some boxing channels on there. They just post boxing like sparring videos and like probably old fights videos, little highlights and stuff.
Word.
Yeah, it's pretty good boxing video.
Yeah, that would be something there, man. Yeah, I just
Instagram, that shit is the worst for boxing. I can't even understand that shit.
Yeah, but
Instagram, if you scroll past the video too much, that should start over when you get back to it.
Yeah. they got the worst engagement, man. You trying to get some engagement? Instagram is for like famous people.
Yep.
For people to fawn over you. Oh, you're so nice. You're so beautiful.
Yeah. And then
Them celebrities come to Twitter, the motherfuckers be down there cussing their ass out. They done quote tweet them and got more tweets than they got.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's how
ruthless.
that be working. You know, Instagram, either it's like that or they be trying to do some product placement or sponsorships or something like that, send them products. They're like, oh, you look good in that. Oh, this is from swim trunks or swimsuit international. You know, how do I look? Something. I don't know. And they get like 1 million clicks or something like that, man. But
yeah,
Instagram on some other different stuff, you know, with all that. But man, I'll just see about running on that TikTok and then see how that joint gonna go, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, going back on the boxing front, since went through the 3 main topics, man. What about this thing, Matt? You ordering the fight? You ordering this Paul versus Woodley fight, man?
I'm thinking about it. Problem is the fight is on Sunday.
Yeah.
ooh, that's great.
And Sunday I added to one of my bar days. I don't know. Sunday is Sad Boy Sunday for me, man. It's when me and my bartender and a couple friends get together to commiserate about women.
So that's I guess that's another one of your prime days there.
Yeah,
so,
man. I'm trying to add as much drinking days as possible to my life.
You going to the TO fight?
I'm gonna have to. That is such a good event, man. And you know they probably gonna put a versus in there.
That's what I was saying.
You know they're gonna put a versus in there.
But they gotta control it though. That's the thing about it.
Yeah. Because MSG was not happy with them last time.
Yeah.
We should have never let y'all
The crowd
do
was
that.
wilding and
Word.
And MSG was like, no, we can't have all this going down, man.
Never gave you niggas money.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, they're going to have to do something on that if they're going to do another versus. You know what I'm saying? Just got to figure out, like,
Wu-Tang versus Mobb Deep.
Nah. That... Shoot, I mean that would they probably go over capacity for that though.
What about Wu-Tang versus G-Unit? Let's go.
Hey, that man,
that's New York right there.
Yeah, that's New York. But I'd be like, yo,
well, you say Wu-Tang versus who?
G-Unit.
Oh, okay. Because 50 ain't gonna do it.
I hate him, man. He is such a bitch. I swear. Like he act like he too good for this. But he dying to get Jay-Z's attention.
Like, come on, man. You ain't nah, man. Like just go ahead and do this thing against Wu-Tang and whatnot.
Yeah, man.
Call it a day, man. You know what I'm saying? Just have that go and then run that. You know what I mean? So but yeah, they gonna have to do something because I know that, you know, with the fight itself and the fight card, man, if they gonna fill it out with the remaining fights that were supposed to be on it originally,
nah,
ain't going.
Hell nah, ain't nobody trying to fucking pay money to see women's boxing. It's not Clarissa Shields. I ain't watching
it. Yeah, but even if Teofimo Lopez, it's supposed to be like a homecoming fight or something for Teofimo.
Well, I was talking to someone in the business, and he told me this fight is going to be a bloodbath financially. So I asked him, what's his ceiling and what's his floor? He said he think the most it'll do is $1.5 million. And that there's a chance it only does $500,000 in pay-per-view plus gate.
Man. Damn.
And this is someone that we all know and respect.
Oh man. So yeah, this is
I was arguing with him in DM for like an hour.
Oh
because
man.
I posted, I think they're gonna make their money back, and he DM'd me like, "Yo, you serious?"
Oh, I have an idea of who you're talking about. So yeah, he's probably right on that one, man.
1.5 in total revenue.
Yeah.
Well, and they ain't even gonna get no earned media out of it because don't nobody really care about no Teofimo outside of boxing.
But you're telling me that if you watching TV and you hear, "Come on," see, we running this rap shit. You hear the takeover, and then you see highlights of Teofimo styling on niggas. That's not gonna get you hyped for the fight.
Yeah, no, yeah, but I'm talking about like
the shit.
I want to see the fight. That's a good fight to me.
But Mike, it's only $20.
Yeah, or $2.99.
$2.99. And you get Oscar.
How's it $20 or $2.99? Give me what's up with the $2.99?
$2.99 is for a month subscription to Fight TV, or the $20 is just to watch it once, just to watch it that day.
What happened to the free 7-day subscription that DAZN gave us at least?
You ain't gonna get that.
Nah, no, not with no Fight TV, buddy. They ain't gonna happen. They put up they have too much wrestling content on there for people to have for free. Yo, for a month, a free trial. Nah, they ain't doing that. They ain't like Showtime, giving folks a free trial or whatever it is. They like, nah, buddy, we need the money. We need the money, son.
If I can't make it in person, I'm definitely ordering it.
Yeah,
I like you, man.
I mean, hey, the takeover, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. He's from New York.
Yeah. So
here, Brooklyn boy.
See, we'll see how that goes, man. Yo, any meat to this story about was it Top Rank trying to put the quote unquote monster on that Fury Wilder 3 card?
Yeah, that's a done deal.
Oh, done deal then. Oh shit.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the free television lead-in.
Oh, the thing for ESPN?
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna fight Jesse Hart or not?
Hell no, they ain't paying no money for no opponent. He probably gonna fight Lefty.
Oh Matt, get yours off. Get your little bragging off about Ryder Morrell.
Listen, I told y'all that motherfucker did not want to fight my Cuban boy. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, this Cuban guy, he doesn't want to fight nobody." I'm like, listen.
Oh, Ryder? No.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to happen.
But I knew that Ryder was the one not trying to have the fight because remember, he did the interview when I said on the boxing source that he said he was fighting June 27th. He said he was fighting June 27th, and that was the same day Morrell was supposed to be fighting on Fox. So then for all of a sudden, the fight not to happen, everybody, oh, Morrell must have pulled out. No, Eddie was fighting to get 60-40. And now the WBA gave them what they wanted, 60-40. Okay, cool. Let's order this fight. Now he's looking to make Ryder versus Bivol. Come on, man. Get out of here with that. They don't want nothing to Cuban. And Eddie said it. He said that the Morrell fight is dangerous. He might as well fight Bivol.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
wow.
I heard it. You remember last week I asked y'all, did y'all hear anything about that fight? That fight is already done.
And man, why am I? And the thing is, with it being Bivol, man, why am I not surprised?
Yeah, you knew he wasn't gonna fight nobody.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna fight nobody, man. Like, come on, man. And what about the potential thing with Beterbiev and Marcus Brown? Well, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but
I think it's gonna happen unless Brown don't want to fight. WBC ordered it. But the funny thing about Bivol is he ain't gonna fight nobody until Eddie get that Bawasi fight.
Yeah.
Because Eddie's setting him up for the Bawasi fight. So he ain't
Yeah.
going to fight Zerto. He's not going to
Nope.
unify with Beterbiev.
Nope.
And everyone was like, oh, well, the fight is not in demand for the public, so why should they make it? Motherfucker, that fight will never be in demand with the public.
Never.
You might as well make it.
Like, yeah, just go ahead and do it, man. Just
That's
make
what
the
I
fight.
wanted to say, but I was trying to be respectful. I don't need to be cursing at people.
Nah, man. Like, the thing about it is, like they should have just went on ahead and just did that, man. Like,
Yeah.
if you're like, it wasn't like people were really demanding the thing for the Kovacic fight.
Exactly.
With
Exactly.
and they still made that unification bout. So, why not go ahead and make the Beterbiev Bivol fight?
Right. Or at least put it on the undercard somewhere. You ain't paying these niggas a lot of money. Put it on some undercard.
Yep. They could have. You know what? They could have did. They could have did Kovacic Bivol on the undercard for Joshua Usyk.
For real.
Yeah, they could have did that because. Yeah, man. I ain't seeing nothing happening with that undercard either, man. Like that ain't gonna be a good look either, man.
Hey, you see what's been happening lately? They've been announcing main events without announcing undercards. So as a fan, you ain't getting shit worth a damn.
Yeah, it's looking like that all across the board, man. Because it's like once they announce the main events, it's like we don't get the thing for the undercards until 2 or 3 weeks later.
The only good card we got is Fury versus Wilder.
Yeah,
it's the only good card we got. The rest of these cards is trash.
And the thing about it is like we really hadn't, here we are in 2021. We really haven't had that many marquee fights, over the course of the year. So what are y'all going to do with these fighters? Are y'all going to have them still sitting, or y'all going to have to, get them some dates? I'm like, why don't y'all just go ahead and consolidate and have these fighters fight in these undercards and just put, all your budget in that back end and put it in these cards, you know what I mean?
You got Gary Russell. You got Keith Thurman. You got Luis Ortiz.
Yep.
Even Ray Vargas is down with PBC now. Where's his fight?
Yep.
There's a lot of dudes that can be marquee dudes that don't have no fight coming up. And nothing seems to be on the horizon.
What are they doing with David Benavidez?
Well, they're waiting, I guess, for him to get back to training. I know Espinosa was clear in saying that they're just going to reschedule it. So I guess we'll see. I'm looking at maybe, well, it can't be September 11th. I feel like they would have announced that already. Right. But maybe September 25th. They might do it then.
Yeah.
Like how long it take to recover from COVID? I don't know. It took me a long ass time, but I'm not no well-trained athlete. I'm just a fat nigga from the Bronx. So it took me a while to recover. How long is it going to take Benavidez to recover? Now, he's an athlete, but he's also a crackhead. So who knows how?
Who
knows when there's cocaine involved?
I don't know, man.
How long it takes when you're a crackhead?
I don't know. And man, so yeah, they gotta figure that out. They still got Jamal. Maul has his fight and Mel had his fight. I don't know if they were gonna try to have one of those guys fight again this year. Shoot. They don't know if they were gonna try to if they were gonna make the rematch between Mel and Castaño.
Yeah. And then what's up with Charles Martin, guys like that?
Yep.
Nothing on the horizon for these guys. You thought maybe you would get Martin versus Ruiz, but Ruiz just had the knee surgery.
Yep.
Maybe they could do Martin versus Luis Ortiz.
Ortiz. Yeah,
do something.
And well, you know what? if you're gonna have the thing there for that free part of the Fury Wilder 3 undercard, they have Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz on Fox.
Oh, no, they wouldn't do that. That'd be too expensive. I would love it, but that's too expensive.
Yeah.
I would love that. Oh man, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Like, come on.
Shit, that could be on the
yeah,
pay-per-view
that's another
and
one.
bump
Yeah,
Jerry
shout out
Anderson
Pound for
off.
Pound Sports and on the live, man. Otto Wallin versus Ortiz. Well, maybe they could put that on Fox.
I like that too.
I don't know. Maybe I need to give Otto Wallin a phone call. Be like, hey, have some against Luis Ortiz, so that could.
Yeah, it's like a lot of guys who don't
got
have
all those heavyweights, man.
Yeah.
And nothing for them, man. It's like, other than the ones that just and Gerald Washington had COVID too, so
he gonna need a fight.
Yeah, he gonna need a fight.
And is Badu Jack gonna come back this year?
I don't know,
because he got screwed out of his title shot.
Right. So they gotta set something up for him, man. Shoot, they could have had him against Dimitri Bivol, man. Something. Ah, dang.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. Did Andre Berto fight yet this year?
Nah.
Wasn't he supposed to come back?
He was. Who would they potentially have him up against? They were trying to have him in position to fight. I don't know, was it Keith Thurman?
No, it was Ugas.
Oh, it was Ugas.
That was a rumor.
Yeah, it was Ugas. Yeah, that's right. It was Ugas.
I'm pretty sure Bruno wants to come back.
Right.
He hard up for money right now.
Yeah, he hard up for money, and he's gonna ask for a lot of money if he wants to get back in the ring too. So.
Cody Crawley, he had missed the main event.
Yeah.
Pitbull Cruz got to come back. Tank said he's coming back in October.
Yeah, he probably would be coming back against
Derevianchenko still didn't fight this year.
Nope.
He got called a mandatory with old boy.
Yeah, with Munguia, but Munguia's not going to take that.
Yeah, he ain't going to take it.
Munguia's going to pass on that. We know that.
Oh, final eliminator? Yeah, he ain't going to go for that.
Robert Easter needs to come back.
Yeah. 140 is too hot for Robert Easter just to be sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, they got all those guys, man. Ali Rivera, man. Who they have? Ali Rivera, Gary Antoine Russell.
Don't forget, Fulgora was supposed to be back already. He was supposed to fight Sergio Garcia.
Yeah.
And Danny wants to come back.
At 154?
I think he'll come back wherever the money's at. He don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. There's money around, he'll come back for it. Yeah, they ain't got J-Rock ain't fight because he was out due to injury, so he gotta have a fight.
Tony Harrison's going to come back after that poor performance.
Right. And so does Jared Hurd.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, man.
And Pootie Tang ain't come back yet. Jamal James.
Yeah, Jamal James, yeah. So a lot of guys, man.
A lot of guys, man.
4 months remaining to get something in there for this year. If they really pack these cards, then they will really get a serious amount of interest, but
yeah,
it doesn't look like they're willing to go for it. So kind of disappointing in that sense, because you could potentially have something where they could stack these cards and have really a Don King special. Shout out to Don King, had his birthday over the weekend.
Yeah, let's hope it was his last one.
Yeah. So I'll see how that goes, man. Hopefully they'll be able to straighten some things out and we get some good fights here in the last or the tail end of 2021, and then just look forward to 2022. But That's pretty much it for this version of the podcast. Thanks for everybody that's joined in here for this particular episode. We'll get back at it here next week. I guess we'll talk about a few things out there in the boxing world there, because outside of the thing for I don't know, maybe do live coverage of this thing for Paul versus Woodley or whatever it is. But outside of that, there's only like a couple other things in boxing that's coming up over the next couple weeks, man. But not really, man. Like outside of what Fulton Figueroa, man, like really isn't really that big type of high profile fight that's out there, for a good
Slim
amount of time, man.
pickings.
Yeah, very slim, man, very slim. But with that being said, point of boxing here is to hit and not get hit. Not to stand and trade on that. No, folks, I'm out. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bomb
Peace.
squad, baby.